All right, thanks, guys. We are 7-3 in our last 10 board member plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. We're also a perfect 5-0-1 in our last 6 daily double picks and 11-3-1 in our last 15 college football plays. That's patreon.com/Brock Page. Link for that site is in the description section below. All right, we have a very abbreviated Monday slate of Major League Baseball games. I think only 6 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games here tonight. So let's go ahead and get into it. I think this is our shortest MLB slate of the year, obviously for the exception of the All-Star game. So let's go ahead and get into it, beginning with the Phillies taking on the Nationals. And that's going to be a 7:05 Eastern first pitch in the nation's capital. Now, Washington's minus $1.85, total at 9. We saw a nickel move toward Washington, movement downward on the total. The Nats open $1.80 up to 185. Total open 9.5 down to 9 flat. 54% of the consensus is leaning toward the Nationals. 71% shaded toward the under. Right now, Philadelphia is plus 175 on the money line. Washington plus $1.10, laying the 1.5. We have Zach Eflin for the Phils, Patrick Corbin for the Nationals. Corbin's 13-7 with a 3.10 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. He's also struck out 224 batters on the year. Zach Eflin on the other side for the Phillies, just 9-12 on the season, 4.00 ERA, 1.33 WHIP. The Phillies have lost 8 out of their last 11. When Zach Eflin made the start. They've also dropped 5 out of their last 6 head-to-head matchups with Washington. The Phillies rank 21st in hits on average per game, 18th in road scoring. Meanwhile, the Nats on the other side, 12-5 in their last 17 Corbin starts. They're in first place in the NL wildcard situation. They're also 85-69 overall for the year, 4th in offensive hits. And when it comes to the total, Washington's 5-2 to the over in their last 7 at home. I'm going to lean Nationals minus $1.85 in the over 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Orioles, Toronto, 7:07 Canada. The Blue Jays are minus 140, total 9.5. Saw a 10-cent fade of Toronto, movement downward on the total. The Blue Jays open $1.50 down to 140. Total open 10 down to 9.5. 54% of the consensus is leaning toward Baltimore, 72% shaded toward the over. Right now, the O's are plus 130 on the money line. Toronto plus $1.35, laying the 1.5. We have Chandler Shepard making his 4th appearance for Baltimore. I think we have Clay Buchholz for Toronto. I think that is definitely confirmed. Clay Buchholz for Toronto. Now, the Blue Jays are winners in 5 out of their last 7. They're also 4-2 straight up in their last 6 at home. Now, the O's on the other side, losers in 5 out of their last 7 themselves. They're also just 5-14 straight up in their last 19 when traveling. The O's rank dead last in runs allowed on average per game. Now, total-wise, Baltimore 4-2 to the over in their last 6. They're also 42-33 to the over away from home. The Blue Jays on the other side, they're 70% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean Toronto minus $1.40 and the over 9.5 in that game. Next matchup, Red Sox, Rays, 7:10 Tampa Bay. The Rays are minus 200, total 8.5. Saw a 20-cent fade of Tampa Bay in the early wagering. The Rays open 220 down to 200, totals 8.5. 54% are leaning Rays, 73% shaded toward the over. Right now, Boston's plus $1.80 on the money line. Tampa Bay catching even money on the run line. We have Jhoulys Chacin for the Boston Red Sox. Blake Snell for the Rays. Snell comes into this game with a 1.22 whip. He's also struck out 140 batters. Chacin on the other side for Boston, just 3-11 on the year, 5.66 ERA. Tampa Bay is tied with Cleveland for that second wildcard spot in the American League. They're 92-64 overall for the year, 28 games over 500. They're also 3rd in runs allowed at home, 3rd in home strikeouts. Now the Red Sox on the other side, losers in 4 out of their last 6. They're also just 1-6 in their last 7 taking on the Rays. They're ranked 20th in runs allowed, 28th in walks allowed. And when it comes to the total, Boston's 5-1 to the over in their last 6, 46-31 to the over away from home. The Rays on the other side, 5-1 to the over in their last 6 themselves. They're also 70% to the over in their last 10 at home, taking on the Red Sox. I'm going to lean Tampa Bay minus 1.5 and the over 8.5 runs in that game. I'm going to take a quick timeout once again, guys, just to welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Monday's Major League Baseball action. Happy Monday to you. Let's go ahead and get another great week of winning started. Before we go ahead and move on, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com. Sorry, I hit my beard there. I see this thing here, and it looked like there was something in my beard, but it's just a white hair. So anyway, patreon.com/Brock Page. We are 7-3 in our last 10 board member plays on that website, doing very good in that tier. Now, we do daily plays on that site. We have a bunch of different memberships and packages. They begin at just $1.99 per month. And like I said, we're 7-3 in our last 10 board member plays on that website. That's a particular membership that you can join. We're also 5-0-1 in our last 6 daily double picks on that site as well. And that daily double is just $2.99 per month. That's an exceptional value there. We're also 11-3-1 in our last 15 college football plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. There's plenty of free content there as well, including my current record. Link for that website is in the description section below. All right, let's go ahead and dive back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time, and we only have 2 games remaining, so let's go ahead and bang those out. Next game, Marlins, Mets, 7-10, Flushing, Queens. The Mets are 210, total 8.5. Saw a 30-cent move toward New York, no movement on the total. The Mets open $1.80 up to 210, total's 8.5. 72% are leaning Mets, 63% shaded toward the over. Right now, Miami's plus 190 on the money line. The Mets plus $1.05, laying the run and a half. We have Caleb Smith for the Marlins, Steven Matz for the Mets. Matz is 10-9 with 143 strikeouts. Caleb Smith on the other side for Miami, just 9-10 on the year, 4.24 ERA, 52 walked batters on the year. The Mets are 3-1 in their last 4 Steven Matz starts. They're also 43-31 in Flushing, Queens this year. They're perfect 8-0 in their last 8 at home, taking on the Marlins. Now, Miami on the other side, they have the most losses in the National League. They're just 54-101 overall for the year. That's a .348 win percentage. They've also dropped 7 out of their last 10 ball games, and they rank 29th in scoring on average per game, which is second to last in Major League Baseball. Now, total-wise, the Marlins are 47-27 to the under on the road. The Mets on the other side, 6-2 to the under in their last 8. I'm going to lean New York minus 1.5 and the under 8.5. All right, let's go ahead and slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Cardinals, Diamondbacks, 940 Arizona. The Cards are minus $1.25, total at 9. Saw a nickel move towards St. Louis, movement downward on the total. The Cardinals open $1.20 up to 125, total open 9.5 down to 9 flat. 51% are leaning Diamondbacks, 69% shaded toward the over. Right now, the D-backs are plus 115 on the money line. We have Adam Wainwright for the Cards, Alex Young for the D-backs. If you like Adam Wainwright in this spot here for St. Louis, he's 13-9 on the year with a .383 ERA and 144 strikeouts. The Cards are 5-0 in their last 5 Wainwright starts. They're also 12-2 in their last 14 Wainwright starts. The Cards have won their last 5 straight ball games. They're also 43-35 against the spread on the road and 3rd in hits allowed on average per game. Now, Arizona on the other side, just 1-4 in their last 5 at home, taking on the Cards. They're also 17th in home hits allowed. They've dropped 3 out of their last 4 games where Alex Young made the start. Total-wise, the D-backs are 4-2 to the over in their last 6. I'm going to lean Cardinals minus 125 in the over 9 runs in that game. All right, let's go ahead and slide into our quick pick recap brought to you by patreon.com/Brock Page. We have the Cardinals minus 125 in the over 9 runs. Mets minus 1.5 under 8.5. Tampa Bay minus 1.5 over 8.5. Toronto minus 140 over 9.5. And last but not least, we have Washington minus 185 and the over 9 runs in that game. All right, let's slide into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Mike Wilkerson, Ariel Perez, Get a King, Billy the Kid, Lil Taco, Chuck Pinter. Shout out to Tattoo Keys from Monmouth County, New Jersey. And last but not least, shout out to Ralph Portundo. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 7-3 in our last 10 board member plays, 5-0-1 in our last 6 daily double picks, and 11-3-1 on the college football season. There's daily plays on that site. They begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well, including my current record. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. I really appreciate you guys joining me each and every day right here on this social media platform of youtube.com. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content. Once again, all this great free information. I certainly enjoyed producing it for you. Happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.